Hey guys, my name is Jared Babu. I'm the director at UNI. This is the place to be if you want to be a leader. And not just a leader, if you want to be a change agent.
You and I is an initiative that my late son Jared Babu was quite involved and very passionate about. And he had big dreams in making it a real change agent. And this came about because of the challenges that he was seeing that the country was facing. And he identified directing the youth at a certain level as they come up in order to achieve the right leadership and right attitudes towards making a better country for the future.
This was his passion. He didn't wanted everyone to get to know what we are intending to do and to call for support. So he was the director who was involved in fundraising activities, trying to create partnerships. The name U and I came from him. So he was the U, I was the I at that particular point, because the two of us were just thinking about us a small scale business. It was not even a business at that time. It was our passion for mentoring high school students. In March 2019, unfortunately, he got into the famous accident with the Ethiopian airline. Him and his wife, Mercy, unfortunately, they passed on during that accident.
It's a pity that whatever my son stood for, that whatever he stood for with regard to the issues of integrity and leadership, good governance and good leadership is what eventually actually elevated him. Because the issue of leadership, as you look at it, does not only affect one person. It does not only affect the person who's making either the right or the wrong decisions. It will affect him as a person, it will affect the people around him, it will affect the society at large, and it will also affect other people who are miles and miles away.
There was something that was brought out about my brother being so passionate about engaging youth with these leadership skills, and yet he was affected and he died because of lack of leadership.
And this really took us back a bit because of, one, he was only 28 and he had so much plans for you and I, because he knew that this will be one day a program that outlives all of us.
Approaching this from the perspective of equipping the youth, equipping them until a level where they can achieve this impact, to me sounded like a very noble ideal, which I have been compelled to support.
I feel like engaging with you and I because it's an honor to my brother. It's something that he had started so passionately, and engaging with it will just be like letting his legacy continue.
It's impossible to think about Jared without having a smile on your face, or without thinking about a funny memory, his funny dance moves, just something funny that he did. He was such a fun human being and such a lovely spirit to be around.
He was a very bubbly, very humble, and very eager to help anyone he comes across.
One thing I learned from him is, because as humans we look for God in the big things, and for Jared I noticed he always looked for God in small things, and he always found a way to communicate with God.
I'd like to ask each and every one of us to always remember Jared and Mercy in everything that we do, and all the values that they instilled upon us should live in legacy of that which they left.
You guys, we have what it takes to really stand out, to really be the oomph that the world needs, right? And there are a lot of great things you can do while having fun.
Afraid of what's next. You hope there's a plan. How could this be best? Don't fear for me, I'm not afraid of the rain. Just getting things ready till we're together again. I'm moving on to a road less traveled. I'm moving on to a place where I can rest. Don't worry for me, it's time to go. Being called home to a place I know.